Hi, welcome today from Inky. This is Lori from Inky Impressions. Today we're going to be looking at this darling digital image called Golfing Papa. Isn't he cute? I just love him. So today we're going to do something different. We're going to actually make a keychain for our dad or our grandpa. Okay, so what I did was I thought I should share a little bit about using this digital image. So what I did was created a document, and I used my word processing program, and then what I did was I imported the picture and put it in the document. Well, what that lets you do is lets you size it with however size you want. So because we wanted it to be bigger today, because when you shrink, it shrinks about 80%. So this is, I would say he is probably 1, 2, 3, 4, he's almost 6 inches tall. So what we're using here, this white stuff, let me show you what it is. Okay, it's Shrinky Dinks, and it's specifically made for inkjet. Okay, so what I did was I put one of the sheets in my printer, and I set it on for best, so it got a really good image, and then I set it aside and let it dry for a little while. It dried very, very quickly. But so we didn't need to do it. So at first I thought I was going to color this with the new Sharpie brush markers, but there's an awful lot of detail in this, and there wasn't 2 greens that were so close. So I went ahead and I'm using, again, my Prismacolor. A lot of you probably have those, the colored pencils. They're really fun and great. So what I did was I took this one, if I can read it. My eyes are not as good as they used to be. Well, it's one of the greens. It's kind of a lime green. And then I took a darker green. Okay, so what I did first is I'm not going to, of course, color this whole thing in front of you because it'll take forever and that's just a waste of your time. So to get the plaid pants, I colored all the pants, every square. Okay, filling it in, and now I'm not going to be doing any fancy shading on this because Shrinky Dinks, what's going to happen is the color is going to shrink down and super, super intensify. So to get the plaid, or the checkered, I just started up here by the pocket, and I started coloring in, this isn't the one I used, hold on. I started coloring in every other one. Okay, and so I just continued to do that all over the whole pants. So, and the same with the socks. I used the socks. I used the same color for the shirt, and then I accented in light with this. Then I used black and silver and a tan. So let me show you the finished product. This is the product that is colored. He's really cute. I just love him. And you can see he's probably not absolutely perfect, but as I said, he's really going to shrink down. So I've already cut him out, and I left this because I wouldn't want this to break off. So I wanted this to have a little more, be a little more substantial, because even when it shrinks down, it can be a little brittle, and I did not want that to break. Okay, so one thing you got to remember to do is before you shrink it, you're going to want to put your hole in it, because even though you would be able to do it with your crocodile, because you know your crocodiles are very strong and they can even go through a pan. So we're going to put a hole in his head, basically. Okay. Okay. And we are going to shrink him. Now there's a couple different ways you could shrink him. I'm going to use my heat gun today, because obviously I couldn't show you how it works if we had it in the oven. Okay, so this is going to be noisy, and I apologize for my dryer going in the background. This is the only time I could do it, and my husband is doing the laundry. So now I'm going to put this on a metal pan, and I'm going to get a couple pairs of tweezers, because as it melts, it could curl. And I want it, and this is your, believe it or not, your Cricut spatula comes in really handy for this. So I usually use metal things to hold it down. Okay, so bear with me, and hopefully this is going to work and we don't look like fools. Okay, so here we go, and I'm just going to use my, if you don't have an embossing gun, this is the gun that you would use. It's a heat gun. It's element heat, and you would use it to melt embossing powder. Okay, so I'm just going to start slowly doing this. You're going to see it start, it'll shrink really quickly. And I'm going to start getting my tools out here. See, there it goes. So I'm just going to hold it like that so it doesn't curl up on itself. See that? Isn't that funny? Okay, so we're just going to be really careful here. You can see as I do it how much the color has intensified. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off for a second, and I'm going to use my tweezers because I don't want this head to stick back here on, I don't want it to stick back here. Okay, so I'm just going to hold on to this. See? Okay. And now I want it to be flat, so I'm going to use my spatula. And you could just use anything really. I prefer metal so it doesn't stick. Okay. You can see, I don't want to burn him, so I'm going to turn that off. Now you can see how cute he is. So I'm going to take the pan away. It's going to be really hot, so be careful. And then, yeah, see, it's bubbled my thing. So you can see, isn't he absolutely so cute? So you can see his hole's still good. Now it's really warm. I will tell you, it's going to be really warm. And even when you take it out of your oven, if you do it in your oven, just follow the manufacturer's instructions on the back of the Shrinky Dink, okay? So isn't it so cute? Okay, so be real, you know, once it gets hard, it's going to be pretty hard. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get some jump rings. And, okay, so I'm going to open that. I just twisted it. So we opened it. Okay. And then I'm going to put it back. Together. Actually, I'm going to leave that open because I'm going to put a bigger jump ring in there. Just to have a couple rings. Okay. And then, so see if you can see what I did. It's got 2 jump rings. And then I have these rings that are open if you just pull them apart, which I prefer those over those kinds you have to pull apart. See, so then you can just put it together. And there you have it, this really cute keychain for your grandpa or your dad. It would make a darling gift. And you know, if you have the stamp, any of the Inky Impressions, any of the stamps, you would just stamp with the archival ink so it doesn't run, and they would work too. So, but I especially love the digital images for doing this because you can make it bigger. So you could even actually have made this maybe 8 inches so that he would have even been a little bit bigger. So thank you so much for joining me at Inky Impressions, and this is Lori at Creative Cottage, and I thank you very much.